Your Royal Highnesses, my lords, ladies, and gentlemen, on behalf of the British Asian Trust, let me begin by just thanking everyone here for taking time out of busy diaries, for making extraordinary efforts in terms of travel to get here for what is, I think, one of our most special evenings. In fact, today I've had cups of coffee and tea with people who've traveled from Nepal, traveled from Bangladesh, traveled from the Middle East, and even some who've traveled from Manchester. For a number of years, I've had the pleasure of saying some words at the British Asian Trust annual dinner, but I can honestly say that I don't think I've ever been as excited about where the organization is at than I am today. We rely on a number of things to create the platform that I think we're in the process of building, and I think it's an incredibly exciting platform. We rely on the constant and committed support of His Royal Highness and Her Royal Highness, and I thank you both for everything you do for the organization. We rely on an incredibly committed management team, whether it's evenings like this or the 30 or so events that we put on throughout the year. The dedication, the hard work that the volunteers, the people who've helped tonight put on, I think deserves a round of applause. And I'd like to echo His Royal Highness's words of welcome to Richard Hawkes, our new Chief Executive. He inherits a great team, and we all miss Hitan this evening, but trust me, he's not going anywhere. We have incredibly committed trustees: Salman Mehdi, Sunny Taka, Chris Mathias, Faiza Naqvi, Asif Ranganwala. These are the people that give up enormous amounts of time, again, to drive forward the ambitious plans that we have. And I also want to welcome our two new trustees, Shalini Arora and Nihal, who tells me he's going to connect us with the younger youth amongst our diaspora. We've got incredibly generous and wise advisors. The machine that is Mohammed Mersi, Tom Singh, Simon Arora, Zamir Chowdhury, Siraj Dadaboy, Mike Patel, Aaron Haralela, Dr. Chris Nonis, Nikhil Hidaramani, and the ever-present Subhash Aliraja. Not only an impressive list, but a list of people who give us the most precious of commodities, time. Our ambassadors, not just Sanjeev, but we now have something like 50 celebrity ambassadors from across all walks of British Asian success. The corporates that keep match funding what we do, whether it's BT, Leica Mobile, to mention just two, the sponsors for an evening like today, Southall Travel, the Serum Institute, Porsche, Hamleys, Chopard, and of course, Madhu's. And most of all, I just want you to look around this room and look at the incredible support that we get from you, our friends, patrons, the people that have supported us on this journey on what is an incredibly ambitious goal. I think we should pause this evening, and BAT should be proud of what it's achieved, touching the lives of 3 million underprivileged children and people across India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh was probably ahead of our original expectations. And we're having massive impact in the areas of education, livelihoods, anti-trafficking, and of course, mental health. But I think if we're really, really honest, we know that we have much more to achieve yet. When you look at this room, when you look at the people in this room, you see the scale of potential that we have, and you see how much we yet can achieve if we work together. Scaling our impact is our next priority, because South Asia needs large-scale solutions. We have over 500 million people living on less than $2 a day. We have a region where only 1 in 100 girls will complete their education. We have a region where 60 out of 100 girls will be married off before the legal age. And we still have a region where 45 million children live every day vulnerable to abuse, exploitation, and being trafficked into bonded labor. The challenge I think we have with South Asia is because the scale of the challenge is so immense, and we've heard those statistics so many times, they ultimately become meaningless. They become numbers. But just for a moment as you watch this video, I just ask you to imagine if it was your son or daughter that lived on less than $2 a day. If it was your daughter that had a 1% chance of completing her education. Or if it was your son or daughter that was as vulnerable as they are. Or if it was you that was fecunda Fakunda's story is a remarkable one, and she's someone that we were able to support through an organization called Coven in Pakistan. And what's most exciting about the commitments that Arif and Faiza through the Aman Foundation and the UK government, who are represented here by a number of cabinet ministers, what's really exciting about the match funding that they've now given us is that we can start to scale the impact that we have with people like Fakunda, because there are millions more like her. And that really, I think, is the message that I wanted to leave people with tonight, which is that we have to scale the impact if we're going to really make a sustainable, long-lasting difference in the region. Many of you will sit here tonight having been to many fundraising events. We've got many experienced philanthropists here tonight. And so the question is, what is it that the British Asian Trust serves to do? And I think what we try to do is we try to achieve something that's very hard for you to achieve on your own through your foundations, that's very hard for you to achieve by giving directly to individual charities, and that is scale the impact. We have a unique opportunity, I believe, to pull together what is an incredibly powerful diaspora to multiply the impact of the donations that you give. For every pound we raise, we typically match fund that with another £5. What we have to do now is convince you to maybe just share a portion of your already generous activity in the region to form a collective, because I believe if we act together, we can make a much more lasting and sustainable difference. And that's really our plea tonight. A year ago at this very dinner, we raised £1 million to launch our anti-trafficking fund. £1 million that came from the generosity of the people in the room. We're now able to deliver a £5 million project in India to create India's first national helpline, working in partnership with Childline for vulnerable children. That's scale impact, and that's scale impact that is sustainable. This year, we're launching our Livelihoods Fund and our Mental Health Fund for Pakistan, and I believe we can match fund that even further to impact that region which so badly needs it. For those who've been on the journey since 2008, firstly, thank you, but hopefully tonight you sense the acceleration of both our ambition and our growth. For those of you sitting on the sidelines, perhaps just share and join the collective that we're trying to create. If you really care, and I know that you do care about the region, please understand that we will only have lasting impact if we act together. If we all directed a portion of our giving to the collective, we could have bigger impact. Now finally, I just want to remind us all that this journey began with the vision of one person. A person who believed that the diaspora could be a force to make a real, lasting, pan-regional difference. A person who I can assure you is deeply expert with the issues that really affect the region. And a person who's not afraid to shine the spotlight on issues that being outside of the country, we're able to. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd ask you to stand and put your hands together for our President, Founder, His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales.